Good morning and welcome to the new edition of Better Thyself. I've seen that happiness has become a vast industry. Look at any bookstore, library, and mind, body, and spirit. They seem to prevail on all other subjects. That could have been good, but unfortunately, all of them spout forth stale, hackneyed ideas that have no real relevance to the reality. They are dictums ideally suited to an idealized world that can never be actualized. I conjure up grim picture of smiling hippies holding hands, chanting, make love, not war, crying, be positive, don't let negative thoughts overtake you. All that only shows that they are misleading the people. And they are not even aware of what real happiness is. They forget that happiness does not lie in holding hands. Where is that a part of life? I don't deny that. But real happiness is something different. The question is, what's the real secret? And the real secret, as you would come to know, is not making a living. It's making a life. The day you are born, you are told to work hard. You have to get good marks in the school and then get into a good college and a university. At the university and college, you are pushed by the parents, by the career counselors, by the psychologists, by your well-wishers, your dear near ones. Take up useful subjects. And therein starts the process of unhappiness. They do not want you in the university to explore the unknown, which should be the real purpose of education. Finally, you have a reasonable job, you marry a suitable partner, live in a nice house, get nice car, and then you step in the shoes of your parents, your teachers, your well-wishers, and start pushing your young ones to the same drudgery of living. And when you have crossed the 40s, you wake up in the morning and ask yourself, is this life all about? Have you stumbled through our life, intent on the next promotion, intent on the next bonus, and life passed by? Was it really a fulfilled life, or was it an unfulfilled life? And that is primarily because you have been prodded, persuaded, goaded into taking up something which you instinctively never desired. Happiness does not lie in riches. They can be a small part of happiness, but they are not per se happiness. Success can be per se a part of happiness, but not real happiness. So, what is happiness? If we go to the GDH concept, and then I see Bhutan is happiest. I see the Scandinavian countries at the top in the world, 17, while China is 71. Surprising. Happiness has not risen in China, although income per capita has multiplied 5 times since 1990. Imagine it. So if the income improves 5 times and still the people are not happy, does it not show that all the efforts of our elders, our parents, our teachers, our guides and philosophers are inane, lifeless, and do not make any meaning? And all that is because they left with one major thing. When they told you to take up useful subjects. They forgot to mention, choose the subject you are passionate about. And since they forgot to tell you that, and you did not have the courage to oppose the wisdom of the so-called intelligent people, mature people, experienced people, you continued in the line of mediocrity, perpetuating the myth of the useful subjects and passing it on to your coming generations. Most of us, I think, are unhappy. And they think they're unhappy because of failed marriages, ungrateful children, losing a promotion, and even possibly a lack of faith. But again, look at Bhutan, a state which ensures freedom, good governance, jobs, quality health, healthcare, and the production. So what that does do is increases your sense of well-being. And then you may not be rich. The people of Bhutan are not rich, but they are happy. They are happy because they are passionate about living and making a life. You know, the biggest problem is that our whole life is geared to making a living. I should live like so and so, living up to Joneses with the neighbors, envy, crossing the Rubicon of riches, Rubicon of properties, Rubicon of real estate, bank balances, jewelry. Is your wife a moving jeweler's show? That's what you want to do, and that's what your wife wants to do. And that's what you want to teach your children. So, what is more important is not making a living. It is making a life. And life does not depend on all that what is taught by the so-called gurus and pundits and intelligent people. Life is living according to your desire. Life is living a drinking life to lease. Life is something existing and doing something you are passionate about. I've seen people who have been very rich and then they don't find their happiness there, but they find their happiness in the evening possibly when they're just listening to old songs, or they go to their own musical instrument and drum on that, or pick up a book and read it. Happiness dwells when you are at tune with yourself. And you cannot be in tune with yourself as long as in the rat race. Now, rat race is quite a pertinent word used by the people to show that all of you who are involved in getting happiness through promotions, successes, money, real estate, are really rats. It's only the rats who run in the rat race. Human beings don't run in the rat race. So the rat race is absolutely apt description for the people who seek happiness in these things. Happiness is more ephemeral. Happiness is much more. Now, you're lucky if you get a chance to work at something that you enjoy. And I fully share with George Bernard Shaw. Life is about finding yourself. It's about creating yourself. So how do you give purpose and work to your life? To answer this question, I sometimes play this game with my friends. Suppose you ask yourself, you have 3 months to live. That's it. 90 days and you will be no more. Then, how do you act? You will get an initial shock. You ask, how can I spend my remaining days? Should I finally take some risks? Should I confess my love to somebody? Should I apologize the harm that I've done to somebody? Should I turn to religion and start praying so that I go to heaven and not to the hell? Or Should I learn to listen to the sounds of silence? How you live in these 3 months is the acid test how you should live your whole life. These 3 months which have been given to you, hypothetically, in fact represent the 3 ons of your life. If you live the whole life the way you are going to live these 3 months, you would find real happiness. You see, the problem is that despite happiness being a vast industry where the authors earn a lot, the gurus earn a lot, leaving you still miserable as you are. And the tragedy here is nobody has taught you the difference between making a living and making a life. No one encouraged you to find your passion. You were not exposed to the choices in the different fields. You did not read the good books of the humanities and the poetries, struggles of men to create meaning in their lives, to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield, says Ulysses. Somebody was talking to me, I was quite sick, and he said, well, look here, one should lead a happy life. I said, no. And then I quoted a doggerel, which comes to my mind very often, and I'm very fond of quoting it. My candle burns at both ends. It will not last the night. But, oh my friends, and are my enemies, it gives a lovely light. So, as long as it's there, it's giving a light. It's showing a light to the people who are ignorant. And that is my passion, to educate, to instruct, to guide, to direct. And unfortunately, right from the birth, we are attuned to the fact to earning money rather than to care for our passions. Very few are lucky to be Mozart, who found a passion in the music at the age of 3. And look, he found real happiness. The way you tell you have found passionate work is when it doesn't feel like work. Time gets distorted and suddenly it's evening. And then you remember you forgot to have your lunch. You are in the work zone. And that work zone is when work is not work, but work is a play. Work is not a problem, but work is something welcome. My idea of happiness is consistent with Krishna's idea of karma yoga in Gita. I don't detach myself from work. No, I don't. But I work desirously, which means I don't care whether you condemn me or criticize me or praise me. I don't expect any rewards in whatever I do. I don't care what the hangers-on jibe at. Who point the fingers, I'm not bothered. I'm absorbed in my passionate work. And that is it. If I'm passionate about my work, I'm happy. I don't care what others think. And then that work should make you forget yourself. Passionate, self-forgetting work is high quality because you're not distracted either by yourself or by the others. And that is the recipe for making a life. That is the recipe for having a secret of happiness. Then that is only possible if you know how to make a life, not how to make a living. You have been struggling the whole life, being a rat in the rat race. Come on, change for once. Be a human being. Don't be a rat. You were not created to be a rat. You were created to be a Homo sapien, the intelligent human being. And the intelligent human beings are not rats. So why run a rat race? Make a life, not a living. That should be your credo. And once you make that credo a goal, you would find that you don't need to search for happiness. It will automatically come to you. Thank you.